When we think about being literate, we think of reading and writing, right? But what if I told you that in the very near future, that definition is going to change? What if being literate also means knowing how to use and even create with AI? That's this really powerful idea from AI pioneer Dr. Andrew Ng, and that's what we're going to unpack today. The whole thing is pretty simple, but wow, it's profound. The idea that AI is becoming a basic skill, kind of like reading and writing was hundreds of years ago. Okay, so you really got to get this comparison because it is the key to everything. Just look at this. Back then, literacy, that was for the special few, right? The scribes, the clergy, they were the only ones who could read and write. Everyone else, you just had to listen to what they told you. Now, fast forward to today, it's the exact same story, but with AI. It's a specialized skill held by this new elite, the super smart programmers. And for most of us, well, we're just the users, the audience, waiting for them to build something for us. So what Dr. Ng says is, if we really want to get a grip on where AI is headed, we have to look backwards. We need to look at how literacy completely changed the world, because that history, that's basically the roadmap for our future. And this is just fascinating. Think about the mindset back then. People seriously thought, why on earth would a farmer need to read? They've got fields to plow. The idea was, you just go to the expert, the priest, and they'll tell you everything you need to know. For the average person, being literate was seen as, kind of pointless, maybe even a waste of time. But then, everything changed. And this is the critical part. Once literacy started to spread, it wasn't just about one thing, like reading religious texts. It was like a key that unlocked everything. Suddenly, you've got science, literature, new ways of doing business, even democracy, all exploding on a scale nobody had ever imagined. It turns out, when you give everyone the power to share and record their own ideas, you build a much, much richer and more innovative society. Who knew, right?
And that brings us right back to today, because we're looking at almost the exact same situation, this huge divide, but this time it's with AI. All this incredible power is stuck. It's not out there for everyone. It's concentrated in the hands of a tiny group of people, just like those scribes from centuries ago. So who are these new priests of AI? Well, they're the brilliant engineers, right? The ones working inside just a handful of giant tech companies. And don't get me wrong, they build incredible stuff that millions of us use. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. We're just consumers. We get to use whatever AI they decide to build for the mass market. We're not in the driver's seat. We're not the ones creating.
And here's why that is. The price tag to get in the game is just astronomical. We're not talking about a startup in a garage here. To build one of these big, custom AI systems from scratch, you're looking at a team of dozens of experts and a bill that can easily top $10 million. Who can afford that? Only the biggest companies on the planet can even think about spending that kind of money on a single project.
Okay, so there's this huge myth out there about AI, right? You've probably heard it. You need big data, mountains of it. The idea that you can't do anything useful without some Google-sized data set. Well, Dr. Ng has this fantastic, really down-to-earth story about a local pizza shop that just completely shatters that myth. So just picture it. It's his favorite local pizza joint. The pizza's amazing, but they've got this super common problem. You know the one. Some pizzas are just sitting under the heat lamp getting cold, while the pepperoni is gone an hour into the Friday night rush. It's a classic case of leaving money on the table.
So you gotta ask, right? Could AI help them out here? Could it maybe predict the Friday night madness? But then that little voice in your head pops up, the big data myth. No way, it's just one tiny pizza shop. They can't possibly have enough data for a fancy AI model. Can they?
Well, turns out they absolutely can. As Dr. Ng found out, this little shop was sitting on a gold mine of what you might call small data. Every single time someone bought a slice, it was recorded. They knew which pizzas sold, how many, what time of day, the price, everything. And that data? It's pure gold for an AI looking for patterns.
And this is where it all clicks. This story just perfectly highlights the real problem. It was never about a lack of data. The real problem is that the owner of that pizza shop can't just go out and hire a team of expensive AI engineers. They can't afford to spend hundreds of thousands, let alone millions, of dollars just to build a custom pizza prediction model for one single shop. It's just not possible.
Okay, so that pizza shop. It's not just one shop, it's a stand-in for millions of other small businesses and opportunities. And this brings us to a really cool economic idea called the long tail. This is where the real, massive potential for AI is just hiding, waiting to be unlocked. This chart says it all. All the big money, all the huge AI projects, They're all piled up at the very beginning, the head of the curve. Think online ads, web search, e-commerce. These are the billion-dollar industries. But now look at the rest of the chart. See that long, flat part stretching out? That's the long tail, and it's made up of millions and millions of smaller, custom opportunities. Our pizza shop lives there, that are totally ignored right now. Why? Because no single one of them is worth a $10 million AI project.
I mean, just think about it. Take restaurants. There are over 500,000 of them in the US alone. Every single one is a little different menu, different customers, different location. A one-size-fits-all AI just isn't going to work. Each one needs its own custom-tailored solution. That's the long tail. And it's the same for farms, for local mechanics, for clothing boutiques, you name it.
So, here's the billion-dollar question. How do we unlock that long tail? How do we get that powerful AI into the hands of the pizza shop owner? Well, the answer is a complete, fundamental shift in how we think about building AI. It's about making it accessible to anyone, even if you can't write a single line of code.
And I love this analogy he uses. For years and years, building AI was like trying to carve something into stone. It was this slow, painful, manual process that took a ton of skill. You had to write thousands and thousands of lines of complex code. But the new way? It's more like picking up a pen and paper. Instead of having to be a master coder, you just teach the AI. You show it what you want it to learn using examples.
Let's make this super concrete. Imagine you work in a fabric factory, and your job is quality control. You, with zero coding experience, can build an AI for this. Step 1, you take pictures of the fabric. Step 2, you upload those pictures. And step 3, you just draw little boxes around the problems you see. A tear here, a stain there. You're just labeling examples. You do that enough times, and bam, the AI learns from you. It figures out what a defect looks like. You've just built your own custom AI model. And here's the truly mind-blowing part. This whole process doesn't take a huge team of engineers and 6 months of work. The actual expert, the person on the factory floor who knows what a defect looks like, can build and launch this thing in just a few hours, maybe a couple of days. The speed, the accessibility, it's a total game changer.
So let's put the two pieces together. You take this new, super easy way of building AI, and you combine it with that enormous long tail of untapped opportunities we talked about. What do you get? You get this incredibly exciting vision for the future. A future where the power to create with AI isn't just for a handful of specialists anymore. Seriously, think about who gets to be an AI creator now. It's not just the person with a computer science degree. It's the baker teaching an AI to spot the perfectly baked loaf of bread. It's an organic farmer training an AI to pick out the bad vegetables. It could be a carpenter, an accountant, a local store manager. The actual experts in their fields can now build the exact tools they need to solve their own unique problems. It's amazing. And really, that's the ultimate goal here. The vision is a world where we stop waiting around for some giant tech company to maybe someday solve our very specific, local problems. Instead, we empower millions of people with the tools to build their own solutions. It's a massive shift in who gets to be an innovator. So, let's bring it all back home. The key takeaway is this. Just like making everyone literate led to this incredible explosion of progress and wealth creation, making everyone AI literate is poised to do the exact same thing. It spreads out the power to create value. It gives the little guys, the small businesses, a real shot at competing and thriving. And that creates a much more dynamic, much more prosperous world for all of us.
And let's end with this one final thought. That first wave of literacy, it did more than just teach people how to read street signs, right? It gave us Shakespeare. It gave us Isaac Newton. It built entire new worlds of art and science that were unimaginable before. So as we're standing here right at the beginning of this new era of AI literacy, the big question isn't just how can we make better pizza? The real question is, what completely new, unimaginable worlds are we going to build when every single person has the power to create?